Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I am Joe Carbonetta. This is Around Midnight Somewhere. It is your favorite Thursday evening train wreck in progress, and tonight is no different. We are live if you are watching on Thursday, July the 23rd. If you're watching any other day, we're not live, and that's probably a good thing. And you can join in and call tonight if you want. We'll give you that telephone number in just a second, but first, I gotta introduce you to my good buddy and constantly image resizing, Todd Fluker. Todd, how are you doing tonight? Todd, we had all these pictures lined up and ready to go. We decided to play a game in the 11th hour, and now nothing is looking like it did.
I told you not to mess with it, but you were like, no, the internet's super cool. It's a wealth of information. It's not evil. It's just, it's a tool. And I was like, nah, Joe, I'm pretty sure the internet's evil.
Yeah. Keep talking, though, because actually, your one of your shots is all right. I don't know why the other one's not, but one of them's okay.
Yeah, it looks much better now. Anyway, that phone number that you wanted to give out is 951-356. Wait, no. Yes, 356-6882.
Yeah, no, you had that right. I was holding off on giving out the phone number until I could actually establish the phone number in the shot.
Oh, geez. But, okay, nobody's going to call.
See it, and I still can't do it because your shot's all messed up with the phone number in it. So actually, it's probably a good thing that you said that. For those of you who don't know, we literally are doing this on the fly and sort of making it up as we go along. And like the days of old, for those of you who have been watching the show since, when did we go on the air, Todd? What was the first time we did this show?
You're asking the worst person about dates. I don't know. Last week?
No, it was definitely, it looks like it. From a technical standpoint, it does look like it. I will give you that.
Especially at this point in time has very little meaning.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true, too. No, let's see. See, you're making me think while I'm trying to set up the shots here. You're not helping me out, Todd. You're not helping me at all.
It must have been 2000 and...
Oh, you're already way off the mark. It was in the 1990s, the late 1990s when we first did this show.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, if you've been watching all that time, then you know that when we do the show, we're literally doing the whole show ourselves. We like to talk like we've got a crew, but we really don't have a crew. We are the crew.
Our producer Nikki is jumping on the YouTube chat.
Oh.
She's helping us out. She's saying that she's been watching our show since she was in middle school.
Yeah, thanks, Nikki. Thanks for making me feel nice and old. But while you're at it, then what year was that?
Yeah, what year? I mean, she was probably one of the early adopters,
right,
so know.
I finally got the phone number fixed. We got one more shot back. What a nightmare. Anyway, if you want to join in on the conversation tonight, you can give us a call. We are live. Even though they'll probably yank us off the air right after this fiasco. But you can call us at 951-356-6882. That is the number to call, 951-356-6882. And you too can join the conversation. And while Nikki's at it, she can tell you that I've been saying that exact same phrase since whenever it was we started doing this show, I don't know how long ago.
And she's saying she started high school in the year 2000. So yeah, it must have been pre-2K.
Yeah. It was in the 1990s.
Y2K. Remember Y2K?
I try not to, but why are we bringing this up now? Just out of curiosity.
Nikki just brought up the year 2000, so I was like, oh man. Remember when they were like, the T-1000 is gonna jump out of your old-timey computer and totally choke you out or something.
Oh, yeah. I remember all of that. It's that didn't happen, but I don't know. Microsoft has come pretty darn close. Look at me trying to fix the show right now.
They're constantly trying to throw a monkey wrench at you, throw a Skynet at you from any angle.
I can honestly tell you, Todd, this is brutal right now trying to fix these shots. None of these, I think, are really going to match. I hate to say it, but none of them are going to match.
Yeah. Well, no biggie.
No, it's terrible. This is awful.
I mean, since you're talking about bad news, should we just get into the bad news of the week and just start talking about COVID?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Why don't you throw something at me while I continue trying to patch up this mess?
I mean, one of the headlines is another 1.4 million workers filed for unemployment insurance last week.
You know, it's interesting that you bring that up as the first topic. And the reason I say that is because I was going to throw to that myself if I wasn't trying to, put all the pieces back together again. Because the Democrats and the Republicans are still sitting there on Capitol Hill arguing over what they are going to do as far as unemployment assistance. Wow, I'm having a hard time getting that out tonight. Ooh. They're still arguing over what they're going to do about unemployment assistance because at the end of the month, the current package expires. And there's actually nothing set to take their place, which means everybody stops getting unemployment at the end of the month if they don't get their act together. Todd, did you just totally disappear off? What happened? Did you drop your glasses or something?
No, apparently my power brick separated from the power outlet, so my computer just all of a sudden, I was like, oh geez, Joe doesn't need another curveball thrown at him when I just suddenly disappear. So I had to jump down and replug in my laptop.
We're professionals, kids. Don't try this at home.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, even though that's exactly what we're doing is trying it from home.
Not only is Chevelle out for the week, then I drop out. Then it's just Joe.
That's true.
90 minutes of the Joe show.
Oh yeah, we'd lose all kinds of viewers, and that is a very good point, by the way, that we are actually without Chevelle this week. It's his week off. I would have mentioned that at the top of the show if I wasn't so busy. You have no idea, for viewers at home, you have no idea how close we were to just talking underneath of a static shot. We actually had one on standby here. This one right here. We were going to go to this shot just because nothing else was working. But fortunately enough, that didn't happen. All right. So, as it turns out, the wonderful, illustrious government of ours is sitting there arguing over what they are going to do in terms of, I won't even call it an aid package, but just the regular unemployment. The Democrats want to maintain the $600 a month that everybody's been getting, or $600 a week, I'm sorry, that everybody's been getting, while the Republicans are saying this is encouragement for people to stay home and not work because they're making more money that way. I don't know about you, Todd, but I don't think most people make more money on unemployment than they do if they were working, number one. Number two, the real encouragement for staying home is not dying.
Yeah, I would say, don't we want people to stay at home? Aren't they telling most people to stay home right now? And then they're saying, oh, we don't want to encourage people to stay home. Make up your mind, buddy.
Yeah. Well, see now, the Republican fix-all to this wonderful little conundrum that they've gotten themselves into is they have this interesting statistic where they're talking 70% of your income. But the question is, since the Democrats haven't seen this bill yet, and even some of the Republicans are fighting amongst themselves as to how this works out, nobody seems to know whether that's 70% of your income prior to going on unemployment. Is it 70% of your unemployment income? Nobody has any of those answers.
Yeah, I feel like I did hear some people talking about crunching some numbers, and you get this unemployment benefit plus the whatever $500-600 a month extra that they're giving people, part of this CARE Act kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And to tell the truth, some people would be making more money staying home. That is the truth, and that's the sad truth. That some people, they have really crappy jobs. You can only get a part-time job.
You mean like this one?
Or yeah, super minimum wage crap job, whatever. And yeah, you could possibly make more money staying home. And I know I had a coworker of mine, literally, and I got a pretty good job, and he's working with me, but he's crunching some numbers, and he's like, hey, you can make some pretty good money if you go on unemployment right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know about that, Broseph.
Why it gotta be Broseph? Why does it make? Why are you making it sound like I'm the one that said this? No. Look, the producers are coming over here going, was it you? Was it you? No, I completely lost my train of thought now, Todd. Thank you. But it's interesting, this circle that we're going around and around in, that some people, perhaps legitimately so, feel that they can make more money if they are on unemployment. Okay. Perhaps that speaks to the problem with the job market in general. That could very easily go into a whole conversation we've had numerous times on this show about the cost of higher education, which is funnier than ever now because you're still getting charged the same amount of money, but now you're doing everything on the computer. But that having been said, for some people, there could be an economic advantage to going on unemployment for now. But this can't last forever. And I'm not even talking about the idea that maybe someday they're going to come up with a vaccine and COVID's going to go away. Financially, we can't just keep making money out of thin air, which is basically what I think Trump thinks that's how it works. When he wants to make a bomber or, bail out his buddies in the banks or the automotive industry or Goya or whatever it is that's going on over there. Oh, man, what was the deal with that? I don't know. Elaborate. Go for it.
Yeah, I don't really know. All I know is I saw a bunch of memes and stuff about was that true? Was
that true? What
was that made up? I saw a picture of Trump in the Oval Office with like a bunch of cans of beans on the desk and whatnot. Is that like photoshopped, or did he actually do that?
This is Trump we're talking about, right?
Because I'm pretty sure he actually did that. And
yes.
Oh my God, all these things are so explicitly against I don't know, it's not a law, is it? Or it probably is a law. He just doesn't give a crap. But I mean, what?
Well, a funny thing, there is there's a million videos on YouTube, but I just happened to be searching for some information on the coronavirus this afternoon. And you know how Google is. Google thinks, oh, well, if you asked for this, then you must be interested in this too. And so they came up with this video on YouTube that is just 10. Okay, I don't know why they stopped at only 10, but maybe because they could go on forever. But 10 times that it's a bunch of videos cobbled together. 10 times that President Trump has basically mocked the coronavirus, and it would be funny if it wasn't so sad for our country. Yeah. Things like him saying, oh, all we got to do is like just inject bleach into ourselves and, people are going to get sick, but it's just like the flu. And then you're going to go, I forget what his exact words were. You're going to go through an event and then you'll be just fine. It's just a total denial about everything. Yeah. Total denial.
And Nikki's jumping on the YouTube chat. She says that, the Trump Goya picture is real. And they were saying there's some with Ivanka as well. It is crazy how this guy is, he's just Teflon. He just does whatever he wants. But, man, these... here in California, apparently, the COVID numbers are just going crazy. Apparently California is now number one. It breaks all the records of recorded COVID cases in one day. We beat New York.
Yeah, we have eclipsed New York. Now,
California number one.
To be fair, we have not eclipsed them in total deaths. We're not even close to that yet. But in every other metric, we have taken over number one. And it's a dubious number one at that. I also forgot to mention at the top of the show that there's a million ways that you can reach us just about any time of the week. Obviously you can call us here tonight live, but you can call the Mixified number anytime and leave us a message. You can also email us at mixified@gmail.com. That's mixified@gmail.com. Or you can, of course, check us out at the website, which is mixified.com. Also, we've got Twitter handles. So you can tweet me at Joe Carbonetta. You can tweet Todd here at Todd Fluker. And you can tweet CJ at Chevelle Divine, even though he's not here right now. Flood him with hate tweets anyway, because he likes that kind of thing. He really does. Anyway, go ahead, Todd.
Or if you didn't want to specifically call out one of us, Chevelle, you could just tweet the @Mixified account. On Twitter.
That's right. I forgot about the @Mixified account. So thank you, Todd. Thank you, Todd. There's something else I should point out too. We are not only live on YouTube right now and streaming for eternity on YouTube, because you can always go back and check us out any old time. If you missed tonight's show or last week's show, you can check that out. We're also big thanks, because I got in trouble for saying big ups last week. Big thanks to Pasadena Media for carrying us. They're simulcasting us on the local station in the Pasadena area. And because we're on YouTube, you can watch us on Roku and you can watch us on Amazon Fire Stick TV. So there's no excuse for you not to watch us, except maybe that we suck. But, beyond that, there's no reason you can't watch us.
But that's not an option. So, yeah, go ahead and watch.
All right, so we were discussing the whole COVID situation, and again, if you want to join in on the conversation, give us a call, 951-356-6882. The phone lines are open. And
apparently there's things just going on here in LA when this, we're opening things up and closing things back down, and I was reading this article in the LA Times talking about workers are scared to go back to work. And a lot of these people who, like we were saying, have some of these low-paying jobs that they feel like they could be very easily replaced. They don't feel like they can say no. If your job is saying, hey, it's time to come back to work, then you're like, yeah, I guess it's time to come back to work. If you're a maid in one of the big hotels downtown, or, you're working fast food, you're any number of jobs that are, seem to be yo-yoing whether they're open or closed this week, depending on, good old Gavin Newsom.
Wait, what's Gavin got to do with this?
I mean, he's in charge, right?
Right, but I'm still waiting to see where you were going with this.
I was just reading this article. It was talking about a bunch of different people: Disneyland employees, lawyers,
Don't
school
even get
teachers.
Me started on Disneyland. I can't believe that Disney World in Florida reopened a while back. Where's the logic in this? At that time, and I think still at this point, Florida is one of the hot spots for the virus and the resurgence.
Top 3.
Why
easily.
would you reopen a public facility of that magnitude that draws in that number of people? I mean, I'm speechless. I really am.
But that's the problem. It's bad because there's going to be more and more people infected. But when you have the government opening up and saying, hey, it's time to reopen, and you're the person in charge of this Disneyland resort or this restaurant or whatever it is, these small businesses, they have to make these choices too. And you're like, I got a bunch of employees that are counting on me. What are you going to do? You're just going to say, your people are saying, hey boss, when are we going back to work? I really could use a paycheck.
Well, okay.
And you're like,
you got
brah.
You got to go back and look at Trump again with the federal paycheck protection plan, where the Catholic Church gets $4.3 billion that they can trace, because they think the church got more, but they managed to do it under the table somehow or other. And Kanye West got a good chunk of change. I think I mentioned that on the last show. And several other large corporations made out quite nicely with the Paycheck Protection Plan. But most of the small mom and pop businesses that applied never even got a thanks but no thanks. They got nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy how this whole system worked. Yeah, every individual is getting this tiny little piece of chump change, and then there are businesses out there getting billions of dollars for what? I don't know what the purpose is. Is that money supposed to trickle down to us little people eventually?
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath over that. I'm still waiting to find out where that second stimulus is. Because they talked about that for forever, and I don't really think that's coming.
Yeah, that seemed like it was going to be a thing, but yeah, maybe now, not so much.
Yeah. So, another interesting thing to come out of events recently is the fact that Nancy Pelosi has jumped all over the administration, i.e. Donald Trump, for his refusal, even now, to underscore the point that people should wear masks. I don't understand how this is not a no-brainer. Dr. Anthony Fauci has said over and over again the importance of wearing a mask. You can pick your health official who has talked about the need to wear these masks, not only to protect yourself from the virus, but to protect others. And Trump refuses, and in fact has openly defied at some points, not so much now, but at points previous, he's defied the idea of wearing a mask, and even now refuses to make it an official policy within Washington that all employees there in Washington should be wearing a mask. And so, of course, Pelosi has taken him to task and blamed him for the massive outbreak that we are currently experiencing, because he's the example. And there are tons of people, especially down in Orange County, who are right there with Trump and don't want to wear a mask.
Yeah, they're following his lead to the ends of the earth, as we've seen when when the majority of the country was a bit shocked that he was elected in the first place. There are a lot of people that are fans of Donald Trump, and they will take his word as gospel, and they are doing exactly that. And he is leading the charge on this no mask thing. And yeah, that's what we were talking about last week. Like, these people are, I want to say conflating, but I'm not sure if I'm using that word right. These issues where they're, turning this into a political issue, into a religious issue, into
all right,
all kinds
I gotta interrupt
of
that
things.
thought there, Todd. I'm sorry, but we got a telephone call here. Hey, good evening, and thanks for calling Around Midnight Somewhere. You're on the air. Who are we talking to?
Hi, this is a Trump.
A Trump supporter with bad phone coverage? We can't hear you.
I will have to call back. That's probably because of the 5G and all the coronavirus being spread through it.
Oh, yeah. Well, Boy, and now we've got more phone calls coming in, but we can only take one phone call at a time. So whoever's calling right now, you got to call back in like 5 minutes. Caller. So who are we talking to? What's your name this evening, caller?
This is anonymous.
Anonymous. You're just okay. Anonymous. All right. So what's this about the 5Gs? And who are they? No.
5Gs. It's a little bit more than 4,000.
Ah. Okay. All right. Huh? So.
Yep. Pretty sure that is where this whole thing came from, right?
Yeah.
5G.
The 5Gs. So how do you feel about Trump refusing to basically accept the idea that we all need to wear a mask?
Trump owns the mask companies. He's just tricking you. He's using reverse psychology.
So that's how he's going to get all the Democrats and the libtards and whatnot on his side, and he's going to say, "Oh, masks are terrible." Wink.
Huh. Okay. All right. So your contention is that he's actually trying to get people to buy the masks so that he can profit on this as well. Wouldn't that,
oh man, it's working like a charm.
Wouldn't that be, if that were in fact the case, God, and I wish it were, wouldn't that be an impeachable offense? Wow, somebody's really trying to get in, and we're not done with the first caller.
Off? That would be great, Joe.
Oh, I can't do that. Well, we still have another call on the line. Anyway, Anonymous, thank you so much for your thoughts on this. We really appreciate your call. Hope you're enjoying the show tonight.
Well, you guys are doing a real service.
Oh, okay. That's very kind of you. I thought somebody was going to say disservice, but thank you. I appreciate that.
You too, sir. You call us back and tell us more of your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. Call us back in a little bit, okay?
We will do that.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a great night, Anonymous. Good evening. Thanks for calling Around Midnight. You are on the air. You are live, that is. So who are we talking to?
This is Kevin. How you guys doing?
Hey, Kevin, we're doing pretty good. I wonder, have you been trying to call us continuously?
Just one call ago, and I left a message of disappointment.
Oh, okay. All right.
It went to voicemail, and I was like,
Oh, yeah. Well,
disappointed. How you guys doing?
We're great, except for the fact that Todd's image just keeps changing size. I don't know what the deal is with that, but
I
yeah.
did see that, but I my phone won't allow me to watch and talk at the same time.
I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. So we're.
Oh man, you got to get you some of that 5G. That'll solve that problem right now.
I think everybody could use 5Gs. Again, where's the stimulus package? Anyway, so Kevin,
the stimulus package.
Yeah,
you guys were talking about the anti-maskers, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and this is the way I see it with those guys. It's basically a backlash against the Black Lives Matter issues and protests, because it's a way to usurp it and kind of upstage it. So it's a way to kind of take the forefront again. And it's a psychological thing if you really break it down. So, it's a way to take the forefront again and be important, be the issue in front of everything else.
So
it's a psychological push, and Trump kind of helps portray that image and that mentality, and so people are basically, pumping their chest out about it, and they're proud about it. So it's their way of saying, well, I feel like I'm more important instead of whatever you guys got going on type of mentality.
So wait, it is your contention, Kevin, that this is a strategic plan on the part of the administration, and that Trump is not actually as dumb as he looks?
No, he is dumb as he looks.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say... there's no way you could say that with a straight face. There's no way you could say that with a straight face.
He is dumb as he looks, but I'm saying psychologically, that's the impetus behind it. Is a way to say, oh well, how dare you like he was saying, how dare you take down our history? Whose history? Whose history? And the Confederate state and the Confederate statues. Whose history, bro? It ain't my history, I'll tell you that.
Which one are you referring to? Exactly.
The part of my history that it portrays is very bad. And the group that and the sector that represents looks down is still has that same mentality today of looking down on other cultures and feeling superior to them. So that is also a driver. And all this anti-masking, so it's a whole bunch of things wrapped up in one, but one supports the other, and it's a damn shame too.
Yeah, seriously. Okay. I feel like anybody trying to come out in this day and age, in this time that we're already dealing with all this stuff, this virus that just won't quit. And you're trying to confuse the issue with all kinds of other things. Yeah, you're introducing some kind of religious aspect. You're introducing these political aspects to this. It's just a certain kind of evil, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely evil. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
So... All right. So you're definitely not on board with this either, but you think it's actually part of a greater plan.
Well, I feel like it's a bigger psyche behind it, other than just because I actually run into people that know a couple friends that feel like oh, it's a hoax. I'm like, it's a hoax. The virus is a hoax. I'm like, a lot of people are losing a lot of money over this hoax, especially worldwide. So, but they feel it's a hoax, and I don't know. I'm just thinking about it psychologically that there's a driver behind it that makes people want to feel like, hey, these are my rights now. It's kind of like it's kind of like the kids that were. It's very, when you look at it's like elementary school. It's kind of like the kids that are all hanging out and everything, and all agreeing on something and everything. And then there's that one kid who was always like the one who didn't want to go with the flow and always was going against the grain and always would try to do anything to go and undermine whatever that majority group was doing. Kind of that situation, and that kid happens to be running the United States.
It's funny that you call him a kid because in a lot of ways that does exactly seem to be how he behaves.
Oh, he behaves just in that manner. So when that kid's left out, that kid does whatever he does to try to get the attention and override whatever that majority group, whether even if it's for a good purpose, he tries to do something to override it just to get the attention. We've all seen it. We've seen it in kids. And it's just, and if you step back and look at it, it's exactly the same thing. It's this group is just like that bunch that kid just multiplied, saying, "Well, I want to take the forefront, and I don't believe in what you do, and blah blah blah, and everything's a hoax, and blah blah blah," and try to shout and boast and do whatever they can to override the attention that one group that was doing good and everybody was cheering on and yeah, you guys do your thing just to get that attention. You know what I'm saying? It's just watching kids play. And that's just what it is, like the playground. And there's always that one kid that wants to be the head of everybody and wants everybody to laugh at all his jokes and think he's the funny man. I think he's like the baddest kid in school, but he's not. You know, right. and that whole mentality is kind of the mentality behind all that face mask, anti-face mask thing, and it's just like we want the attention now, and this is how we feel, and your stuff is bull. And I think it's fake. Your stuff's not real. My stuff's real. Your stuff's not real. I don't believe in your stuff. I don't believe in your stuff. That it can't exist. It can't be real if I don't believe in it. And so if whatever you're supporting is not enough to convince me, then it has no meaning.
It makes it a lot easier for that kind of person to spout that kind of nonsense when you have people in points of authority like the president saying crazy crap like that, and you're like, yeah, obviously I'm right.
Yeah, exactly. And they feel like, we're on the right side of the law.
Yeah, they walk back their sayings now. They're, taking back what they're saying. They're saying, oh, maybe it's not so much of a hoax, yada, yada. Even I was a little bit on that bandwagon at the very start because I heard, TV doctor, Dr. Drew, he kind of was saying that at the start of this whole thing. And I was like, oh, Dr. Drew, he seems pretty smart, so I'm going to go ahead and go with what he says. He says, it's kind of a bad flu. It's no big deal. So I was like, oh, yeah, it's no big deal. And I was literally going to, go on a big trip to England for 2 weeks, like in, March or something like that. And as that date started to come closer and closer, I was like, this whole thing doesn't seem so much like a hoax. It seems like people are really getting sick and, in bad shape. Maybe this thing is so bad. And he did walk back that saying. He was like, yeah, he recanted and basically said, this thing is serious. And people have to be more flexible and able to take in new information and maybe say, that feels like that's kind of the problem with politics in these days, is that people have a stance and they just stick with it no matter what.
Yeah, they won't budge.
Yeah, you won't budge.
It makes sense even if it's from the other side. They'll never do that.
Yeah, I'm right, and that's the end of the story.
You guys knew that, this is a live on here, but Eugene's son, Elliot, got it.
Yeah, I saw the post on Facebook about that. That he was doing better and recovering. That's great.
Yeah, I think I only became aware of that today for the first time because I'll be the first to admit I don't use Facebook very much. I did post something today though about the show this evening. So yeah, it was the first I'd seen any of that. Well, Kevin, we really appreciate.
We wish her the best. Wish him the best too.
Yeah,
and we I hope him a
appreciate your
speedy
call
recovery. It sounds like he's doing much better now.
and your passion for this topic of discussion. I hope you're going to keep watching the show and maybe call us back a little later on.
I'm gonna go eat. My stomach's growling.
Oh well. In that case, we're honored that you put dinner on hold just so you could join us on the show tonight.
Exactly. I enjoyed that. I'm glad I did. Built up my appetite.
All right. Yeah. There's nothing like getting mad to build up your appetite. Well, thank you for calling this evening.
All right. Well, not that mad, but expressive. I'll put it that way.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, you have a great evening, Kevin, and continue watching the show even if you don't call back in, okay?
Okay. Hey, and tell Seville to make an appearance and quit hiding.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. No, he took the night off. Apparently we're too much for him.
Night off, the whole month off. Yeah, I don't know.
No, he was with us. He was with us last week. All right. You have a great night. Take care.
Okay. You too. See you guys.
I mean, kind of a once every other week tolerance is about my tolerance for me as well.
Oh, what, with Chevelle?
For this whole show thing.
Oh,
you know.
Oh, that's not right.
Every week? Oh, that's a lot.
Come on, you enjoy this. All right, anyway, we really do appreciate the call. And like I said, we are live. You can call in 951-356-6882. That is the number to call. And we will try and get you in on the air as well. But you know what? Right now, we actually have to go to a break because, frankly, we were supposed to do that a long time ago, but we were too busy talking, and it was good. We'll be back right after this.
You are not your diagnosis.
A medical chart is not your identity.
And vision loss does not define you. Your drive shows who you are.
And you are not alone.
Because we are driven too.
To be a beacon of strength, a champion of courage,
an advocate for hope.
You are not alone.
Because we are stronger together.
We drive the research for the cures we're finding.
We're fighting macular degeneration,
LCA,
retinitis pigmentosa,
and the entire spectrum of blinding retinal diseases.
We fund.
We fight.
We win.
We
are
the foundation
fighting blindness. Together,
we are fighting blindness.
Join the fight at fightingblindness.org.
Oh, Vanessa. You gonna text her back?
Nope. I'm high. I'm gonna hit the treadmill.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
We need to go meet the guys. I'm lit. Can you drive?
Nope. I'm high. How about they come over?
Where?
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
The lost cause. The ignored.
The impossible.
Meet your match. A go-to-world Girl Scout identifies a big problem, creates a project, and takes the steps to solve that problem.
We stand out because we stand for more. Gold Award Girl Scouts don't just change the world for the better. We change it for good.
All right, we are back right here on Around Midnight Somewhere. We are live this evening if you are watching for Thursday, July 23rd of 2020, that is. And you can give us a call at area code 951-356-6882 if you want to join in on the conversation tonight. I am, as always, joined by the ever-resizing Todd Fluker. Seriously, Todd, what is the deal with that? Wait, we didn't hear you there, Todd. Try that again.
Oh man, it must be my sick dance move. The internet just can't take it.
You broke something tonight. You really did, because I don't know. All right, here we go. We're gonna try this again now. There we go. There's a wide shot of Todd dancing. Oh man, the effects are flying fast and furious here. If only you could see what I am having to deal with. Oh, no, see. It's just not right, Todd. It's just not right. Anyway, so, once again, we are live. If you want to join in on the conversation, give us a call, even though it's a train wreck in progress, 951-356-6882, and we would love to talk to you this evening. So, we were talking about coronavirus before we went to the break. And, Todd, as far as that goes, you had a topic that you actually were going to try and squeeze into last week's show, and we ran out of time before we got there. So I guess we're gonna put this one in right now because it's still under the whole coronavirus thing. You said you had something to discuss about dogs and COVID. You want to elaborate on that?
Oh, geez. You're going to talk about the story I forgot to pull up?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yes, we're gonna talk about the story you forgot to pull up.
Yeah, that's a real thing, Joe. Oh man, it's a story, all right.
I believe it had something to do with the fact that apparently dogs are becoming codependent now because they have been exposed to so much time with their owners. Their owner never leaves the house anymore, and so evidently the dog has become accustomed to this on a level that they just can't break away. Is that what I was led to understand by this? You still don't?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean,
Todd, come on, where are your facts? You know where's
my link?
This was the topic you wanted to talk about. This was the topic you wanted to talk about, Todd.
Oh man, did you see
let's put some music back in there for you, Todd. You can just dance some more instead, you know. just confuse and obfuscate. That's it, you know. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Fauci throwed out that first pitch. Oh man, he's lame, right?
I did hear something about that. That's right. You know, again, this was something we were going to talk about later on in the show, but now that we're sitting here trying to figure out what we're going to do while you're still trying to do your research all over again, tonight is opening night for the National Baseball League. I was going to say strictly for the Dodgers, but I forget that actually you could be watching anywhere, not only in the country, but anywhere in the world. But yeah, apparently we just couldn't live without baseball. Go figure. And so tonight is the opening games of the season. So, you know, there we go. I think we have that live feed from Dodger Stadium right now. Oh, no, wait, that's not working either. Just kidding. We never had that. Yeah, so now there's people in the stands with cardboard or actually they're just cardboard cutouts, and it cost a pretty penny to have one there, and I just don't see the point.
There must be some hardcore baseball fans that just love their team and, you know, want to support them. And I mean, why wouldn't you want to support a bunch of millionaires playing ball?
Yeah, you know, the Dodgers just signed another landmark agreement to keep another player for the next several years, and it is now considered the most money paid for a player. And I every time I hear that, I am less interested in watching baseball anymore, because I remember when you could go to Dodger Stadium for $7 and get a seat, and then for another $1.50 a hot dog. And then they start talking to players the other evening saying that for a family of four, they're easily blowing $500 in a night. And I'm thinking, you know what? The national pastime just got too rich for my blood.
Yeah, come on. It's crazy to go to a baseball game. I know I try to do it at least, you know, once a season, especially now with the kid. She likes to go, and it's not like we're watching baseball at home. It's just an event to go out, especially if you have people in from out of town. You're going to go see a game, and it's fun, and it's a one-time thing, and you're like, yeah, I don't mind spending. But yeah, seriously, if you want a beer, it's like, oh my God, you better take out a second mortgage.
Yeah, that's not that's almost not a joke anymore. You actually do kind of almost have to mortgage your house in order to go see a baseball game.
Yeah, seriously. But anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Oh, did you finally
dogs,
get it?
Right?
you finally got it now?
Yeah, I finally found it. And actually, doing a little bit of reading in the story, this is very accurate, actually. Because I've been noticing some issues with my dog, and I'm like, why is he acting this way all of a sudden? He's like following me around everywhere. And basically, the story is saying, yeah, dogs are basically getting the idea that they're, sometimes their owners, some people who are lucky enough, like me, most of the time I'm at home nowadays, and they're getting the idea, hey, finally my owner got the message that I want to be around him 24/7. This is great. But they're no longer able to self-soothe themselves or be alone for any period of time. And this is going to be a problem, and they are going to start acting out, especially if they, people return to work. And like I said, I literally have usually, when I started working from home, usually the dogs just hang out in the living room, and I'm out back here in the office doing my thing, click-clacking on my computer. But nowadays, they are literally just coming in and pawing at the door that I'm in, and they're like, just come down and lay on the floor right next to me. I'm like, why would you want to come lay in here? There's a nice couch in there that's very comfy that you could be laying on. But they want to come lay on this hardwood floor. I'm like, what's your problem, dog? But yeah, they've been doing that. And I'm like, and I put a little towel down over here next to them.
Oh,
just
isn't
so they
that
can
nice?
have something to not lay on the hardwood floor. But yeah, I'm like, reading this article, this is going to be a problem.
I'm really surprised that you totally forgot that you wanted to talk about this because, and the viewers at home won't know this, but I'm going to relate this story anyway. We have to get everything set up before we go on the air, obviously, even though we're doing this from remote locations. And so we set up our connections, though you couldn't tell it from watching the show right now, we set everything up way in advance. And in the process of doing that, my little gremlin, and I say that because I have this little dog, he's a Yorkshire Terrier, but I'm pretty sure that's where the myth of the gremlin came from. And at one point, he is in another room shrieking because he can't get to me. And Todd, you asked if I had a parrot, because you could only hear the shrieking off camera. And yeah, this is a new phenomena. The dog didn't always behave this way. And granted, he's gotten a little up there in years, but he's always been pretty darn independent until very recently. Now it seems like he can't live without me.
Yeah, that's exactly what this thing is saying. They're overly bonded. And thankfully, it does give a few tips about how to kind of curb these, because it's saying, these dogs are going to have freakouts when you're trying to leave them alone for long periods of time. They're going to tear things up. They're going to vocalize, that means barking their little heads off and all kinds of things. But saying, step one in order to increase their ability to self-soothe is separate at least twice a day for an hour. Put her, I guess, this dog's a her, put her in a room or in a crate and close the door. They'll protest, they'll scream, but just let them cry it out. Wow, that's mean.
And I think the first thing that they should actually say is, by the way, practice your painting skills, because if you lock the dog in another room, the dog's going to start digging at the door or the carpet and or both. And when you go back in there later on, you're going to have a whole new level of angry going.
Well, step 2 is buy toys. So maybe that would curb them from tearing a hole in your door. Throw some little some pepperonis around and make them search around for them or something. But and step 4, I feel like it says bring the noise, and it just says turn on a TV, turn on a radio, do something like that. And I feel like that's something I usually do when I went out anyway. If I leave the dogs.
Let me get this straight. Hold the phone. You leave the TV on for your dog?
No, radio. I leave a radio on for the dogs.
What do you put on the dogs barking jingle bells or something like that? I mean, what do you play for the dog?
Jingle Cats. The opposite.
Do you think the dog really cares about the radio being on? I mean, seriously.
I mean, according to the experts, what are you going to pull a Chevelle now?
I was going to say, it's a good thing there's no Chevelle here right now, because he'd be like, oh yeah, the experts, but there are none.
None to my liking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's saying it literally helps them, just having some noise. It makes them, think there might be somebody just outside the door or somewhere, it's makes them think something's going on.
Wow. That would suggest that dogs are even dumber than I thought they were. I've thought for a minute I thought you were going to say you leave on something like Scooby-Doo or something for him. So, he I don't know. I'm just not sure. But here's my other question for you is, what has this done to the cat? Because the cat wanted to kill you before and take over the world. And now you're there all the time. So at least he used to be able to scheme when you were gone. He could work on his dastardly plot to take over the world. But what does he do now that you're here all the time?
I'm pretty sure it just pissed him off.
And I got to ask this just because, Todd, I wonder if this is a universal phenomenon or just my gremlin. And I thought my kids were bad, but I can't even go to the bathroom. The dog will take up station right outside the door, and he will not leave until I come out.
Yeah, that's about how it's going these days. They're literally, I'm like, and one of my dogs, he's getting up there in the years, and he can't jump like he used to. I'm like, obviously, was having some joint issues, and I'm like, why are you walking around all the time? Just because I sit up in my chair, he jumps up. He's like, where are we going, boss? We're going somewhere? All right, I'm with you. Ride or die. I'm with you, bro.
Yeah. No, it's that's about the way it's going. So, you know what? If you're watching right now and you are experiencing anything like this, please feel free to give us a call and tell us about it, because I'd like to know that Todd and I are not the only ones. But seriously, 951-356-6882. That's the number that you can call and join in. There is also a chat or two. Is there not, Todd?
Oh, yeah. We got some YouTube chats and some Facebook chats. They're all over the place. We got people like Pauline jumping in to give us a thumbs up.
Oh, thank you, Pauline.
Yvette's chiming in saying, wasn't Chevelle just on vacation last week?
Yeah, he seems like he's always on vacation. Well, we got another telephone call coming in, so let's take that call. Good evening, and thanks for calling around midnight somewhere. We appreciate you watching. You are live. Who are we talking to?
Hey, this is Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, we're doing okay, but we're perplexed by our dogs and Trump. And I'm pretty sure my dog is smart.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of dogs and a cat in the house, along with a mess load of people.
Okay.
And the dogs are super dependent on everybody because they're used to having someone around all the time.
Okay.
Because of the different schedules in the house.
Uh-huh.
So they're super attached. They do everything you guys are talking about. No one can go to the bathroom by themselves. No one
but they
can
were
do
like,
anything by
you're
themselves.
saying they were like that before.
They were like that before. The one that got worse was my cat.
Oh, the cat.
got
So
worse.
we do have a cat in this now. All right, wait. Where's the? Where? There it is. Okay, continue,
So,
Nikki.
I was able to stay home for a while before we started going back into the building, and the cat got really used to me just being here and hanging around and all that. So now if I am in the house in a room where the cat can't get to, he sits there and loudly yells in my direction until I go out to him.
Just yowls.
Yes, he is. Yes. Super loud and angry because I am not where he can see me.
We have another caller trying to get through right now, so if you're calling right now, you got to call back in a few minutes because we can only have one phone call on the air at a time. So, Nikki, I have to ask this question about the cat. Is the cat by any chance Siamese?
Nope.
No.
He is a short-haired black cat.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that blows that theory right out of the water because, most people don't know that Siamese cats are the only cats that can actually go senile in their old age, and often do.
What?
Yes. No, he's around 2.5, and he's just super clingy.
Huh.
He wants to be with people.
That's
he
interesting.
Thinks he's a dog.
Most cats are usually plotting to kill their owners in their sleep, and so I'm surprised that your cat actually wants to be around you, all the time.
Yeah. Is he a lap cat? Is he just sitting in your lap constantly?
How does the cat get near you with the dogs?
Well, we kept them separate for a while. And then once my older dog, he got sick enough he had to be put down, and then we kind of put them all together because he was the only one that tried to see the cat and saw a snack. And now they all get along, but no, he kind of usually lays off to the side where he could see me or directly between me and my laptop.
Perhaps he likes the heat from the laptop.
No, because he lays on the desk, not the laptop.
Oh, okay. Well, so,
Yeah.
Nikki, are you wearing your mask this evening while you're watching our show? I mean, are you trying to keep disease-free while watching us? Because, there's no telling what we could spread.
Home. So since I'm at home, I don't need to wear the mask. But when I was out earlier today...
No, you don't understand. We're emanating infections right here through the TV set right now.
Oh, yeah. I was in Orange County earlier, so I definitely had a mask on.
You would be the only one in Orange County, evidently. A lot of these cities have actually taken the extraordinary step now of preparing to fine people for not wearing masks because there are so many, I'm going to call them militant people walking around. It's better than calling them ignorant, I guess.
It is baffling to me how many people are stupid.
I'm glad better you said it than me, because I don't think there's any more space in my inbox for the hate mail.
No, I can't understand the cognitive dissonance. And the place I go in Orange County, they all believe in science, and I'm very happy because otherwise I would not go there.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
It's crazy.
Well, so you do wear the mask. You're just not wearing it right now. And I'm curious. Are you? I'm going to assume that you have no issue with the fact that municipalities have now announced that they're going to start fining people for not wearing the masks. And I've seen various cities with various plans for how they're going to do this. Some starting at $100 for the first violation and working their way up to $500 for the second, and all the way up to $1,000 or $1,500 for the third violation. I did see a news report, and forgive me because the municipality now escapes me, that said that they were starting the bidding at $400 for the first violation. So some of these cities are really taking this seriously. But I'm going to go out on a limb and guess you don't think this is a bad idea at all.
No, it's like a seatbelt violation. You need to do it because of safety, not just for you, but for everyone around you. Wear your seatbelt, have your headlights on, all that jazz. So wear your freaking mask, too. It's the same thing.
All right.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
seriously. It is a safety issue for everyone, and people are talking about their rights, but...
Go ahead, Todd. Come on, finish the sentence.
It is difficult. I work in a government building, so it's also hard for us to... It's difficult for us to an extent because we don't have the same, we have the right to refuse service as a retail business does. But I am like, somebody's going to walk in and be like, nope, I don't want to wear a mask, and I have no idea how we're going to deal with it.
Yeah, I saw a funny meme online talking about we should get some of those burly bouncers that are, now out of work because all the bars are shut down. They should be hanging out in front of businesses and just bouncing anti-maskers.
Yup.
Interesting.
That would be hilarious.
Huh.
It would be fantastic.
Give them the bum rush.
All right. Well, Nikki, we appreciate you watching tonight, and hope you're enjoying the show.
I am. Thank you.
Fantastic. We truly do appreciate you, Nikki, because I think you are our only regular viewer. Well, maybe there's one or two others, but you're always there with us every Thursday night, and we really appreciate you, Nikki. If there was a fan appreciation award, you would win it.
I mean, I've been a regular for forever. Like, I literally was watching you guys when I was like 12 years old.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. But
I'm pretty sure Nikki's like suffering from the sunk cost fallacy. She's just like, ugh, these guys are still doing the show, but it's already season 22, so I guess I gotta watch it.
Yeah, but it occurs to me that Nikki can tell everybody firsthand how old we look now.
I can. I mean, I thought you guys were old when I was young, and now I'm in my 30s. I'm like, oh, man.
Ouch!
Now you're the age we were then, right?
Isn't that weird for you guys, too, though?
Yeah.
It hurts even more when you keep pointing out that you started watching when you were 13. But you know what, Nikki? In all honesty, I've been looking for some old footage that we could roll in on one of these episodes, and one of these days I'm going to do it just so that people can know that we're not just making this up. But you do add an air of legitimacy to us, so we really appreciate that, Nikki.
I mean, somebody's got to help us out.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
all about providing legitimacy.
Definitely. Yeah, and boy, we especially after some of the stuff Chevelle says, we need all the legitimacy we can get. So, Nikki, again, thank you so much for your call tonight. We really appreciate it, and we hope you're going to continue watching the show and maybe call us back a little later.
Okay, good night.
All right, bye-bye.
If Nikki doesn't have some cards made that say, Nikki provides legitimacy.
Yeah, there we go. That's a thought right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have to go on take another break right now, so we're going to be back in just a moment. At least I hope we're going to be back in just a moment. The way things have been going so far, there's no telling. But this is Around Midnight Somewhere, and we will be back right after this.
We're all busy, but our health comes first.
I've got this mammogram scheduled. When is your colonoscopy?
Screening increases the chances of detecting certain cancers early when treatment can be most effective. Make time to schedule your screening appointment now.
Hello, I'm Congressmember Judy Chu. Talk to a doctor about your risk factors to determine what screenings are best for you. Make your appointment today and keep it.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
You're a busy man when you turn 18. But with all you've got going on, don't forget to register with Selective Service. It's the law. It only takes about 2 minutes to register at sss.gov. And you can do it without even looking up from your phone. Just like that. When you turn 18, register at sss.gov.
Vehicle accidents are stressful enough. You don't need someone showing up at the scene trying to pressure you into letting them tow away your vehicle. Call your roadside assistance provider or insurance company for towing company suggestions, or consult with police on the scene. And always have the price and terms in writing before you let them hook it up. If you suspect fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB or visit www.nicb.org. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
How's everybody doing? We all right? Great job. You guys are doing it.
Tackle football is like smoking. The younger I start, the longer I'm exposed to danger. You wouldn't let me smoke. When should I start tackle? Choose flag under 14.
All right, we are back here again in the final half hour of this disaster in progress. This is Around Midnight Somewhere, and you too can join the conversation tonight if you want to. I am Joe Carbonetta, and I am joined this evening by Todd Fluker. Todd, are you still there?
Oh yeah, hanging out, hanging in.
Excellent. That's good to know. It's good to know that somebody hasn't left me this evening, because the rest of the internet is like trying to kill us. Anyway, so we are live if you are watching on Thursday, July 23rd. And you can join the conversation by giving us a call at 951-356-6882, because that's how it works. Boy, that's an interesting effect going there with the switch. Anyway, another problem for another day. So Tom, what were we talking about here?
We got some people, speaking of the YouTube streams, which I am about to.
Okay.
We got some people jumping in on the chat.
Oh, nice.
That Lugene, I was just telling her she should call in. She's saying anti-maskers should be set adrift in bedpans, dude. My son got sick from an anti-masker he knew.
Oh, that makes it personal. I wonder if you can sue somebody for that.
Yeah, and also Yvette was jumping in on the chat saying, "Can I give tickets and fines to people I see not wearing masks in public? Could you do like a citizen's arrest? That would be great. That would really, I think that would clean things up pretty quick."
Huh. Yeah, that would. Interestingly enough, I think that you have mentioned in the past that there's an Yvette that keeps texting us. We got to get this person to call in I love people that text recurrently. That's fantastic. But it's even better if we can actually talk to you in real time. So give us a call, 951-356-6882. Oh, hey, look at that. The number is on the screen. Look, I can sort of point to it again there. There we go.
How convenient.
Todd, you got to point the other side. There you go. Call in. Other side there. Other side there, Todd. There you go. 951-356-6882. Call now. All right. Anyway, let's see. What were we so the next thing that, of course, we have to discuss is none other than Trump in the news. So we were discussing earlier, of course, that the Democrats and the Republicans are still fighting over how they're going to fix the unemployment program before it goes bust. And the jury's still out on whether it's going to go bust or not. But another thing that was very amusing was very recently the Democratic hopeful Joe Biden openly said that he called Trump the quote-unquote first racist president in U.S. history after a whole bunch of discussion came about. There was a woman, I believe she was actually of Korean background, but apparently she was harassed in line at a grocery store, and Trump seemed indifferent to the whole situation. At which point, Biden went on a bit of a tirade, and so, yeah, I found that very interesting. Not that I disagree with him. I think I have said numerous times that Trump is openly racist. But it is interesting now that the Democratic candidate in the November election has gone on record saying the same thing.
I mean, come on. There's going to be a bit of mudslinging. It's coming to that.
This goes beyond mudslinging. Come on, Todd. These are facts.
Yeah, I mean, there's some wiggle room here.
Is there? Is there really?
I was literally going to bring up this other story about a California teen that launched a petition calling for Trader Joe's to change their racist packaging.
Oh, yeah, they're already in the process of doing that, which just blows my mind. Because they cited several different ethnic groups or ethnic backgrounds that apparently have been targets, and I use the term while raising an eyebrow.
This is the whole thing, that this word racist, it's becoming a huge umbrella covering way too much stuff. Yeah, a lynching is racist. Is calling this package of taco shells Trader Jose's taco shells?
Yeah,
racist?
They had basically Hispanic background, or Hispanics were one quote unquote target. The Asian communities were a target, and the Italian community, because they had something like Trader Mario's pasta sauce, something like that. And I'm thinking, so what's next? Are we going after Chef Boyardee? Because you know what? He actually was Italian, and he shortened his name so that the crazy white people could figure it out, because it was something like Boyardia, actually. But, I'm Italian descent, and I've looked at those packages a million times and never thought twice about it. I mean, who exactly is getting offended here?
Yeah, I don't know who's going to look at this thing. I mean... Yeah, it's just kind of generally taking the generic name of a person from that, that area of the world that eats this kind of stuff and slaps their name on it. I don't know what's racist anymore. Is it? It probably is.
The thing that I have to question is. I guess you could call it racism if enough people were offended. But who are these people that are offended? Because, I come from a background. Look, my name's on the screen right now, Joe Carbonetta, okay? It's Italian. I always say Carbonetta because, frankly, I was born here in the States. But I've got Italian relatives. I actually have a few living relatives that served in World War II. I've never heard a single one of them say anything about the products at Trader Joe's as if they were upset in the least. So who is getting offended by this? I would really like to know.
You don't remember your uncle Paisano saying, "Hey, Elite Rocco, have you seen the Chef Boyardee can?"
That sounded more racist to say Uncle Paisano. Actually, I had an Uncle Anselmo, and no, he never ever said anything about that.
Yeah, they had bigger fish to fry.
I mean, seriously. It's like, we're going to get mad at every little thing that goes on. This is insane.
Yeah, they're literally worried about frying up a fish and, going out and catching a fish and frying it for dinner. You're not worried about the package at some grocery store. It doesn't make the top 10 list. And sometimes I feel about these problems, they're just kind of being manufactured as talking points. Shouldn't we work on our problems from big to small? And if we're doing anywhere near that, this ain't cracking the top 10.
If you are watching the show tonight and you are one of these 3 affected ethnic backgrounds and you feel offended, actually, I'd like to hear from you even if you don't. But one way or the other, if you wouldn't mind, give us a call, 951-356-6882, or tweet us or email us. Do something. I would really like to hear. I'd actually like to hear from one person who was offended, and I'd like to know why. But again, I'd like to hear if you weren't offended. You can reach us on the Facebook chat. You can talk to us on the YouTube. I don't care. Somebody just, because again, I'm speechless. I really am.
I mean, in the same story, it also mentions that the company Mutual of Omaha is removing the American Indian logo from their company.
Well,
and I mean, that has a much more. And see, sometimes I wonder about that. Like, I know a lot of things like the Redskins. That is overtly racist.
Yeah, okay, I sort of understand that one. But Mutual of Omaha, what did they do?
Yeah, it's just a picture of a person. Does that make it racist just because it's portraying a person?
Yeah, it's not. It's a profile even, and it's rather generic even at that. But I mean, so to associate a Native American person with life insurance is racist. Is that what we're saying?
Apparently, this whole Trader Joe's thing's associating any kind of ethnicity with anything is racist.
So well, okay, never mind. I was going to say, so is Papa John's racist? That was a really bad example right there. In case anybody forgot about him, got. Although he was actually sort of, we talked about that on the show when that happened, and that was, a year or two back. But he was actually quoting Colonel Sanders, and then they raked him over the coals for it.
Yeah, that guy kind of did get railroaded. That sucks for him.
And you do have ethnicity in your background, Todd. So I mean, for you to say I think he was railroaded, that actually speaks volumes, I think.
Yeah, I'm told I'm at least part black, so I got some legitimacy, probably.
There we go.
I don't know.
It's either that or there we go.
I've got balls of steel.
But yeah, that's this whole cancel culture that everyone's dealing with nowadays. Every time you bring up something, that happened in someone's past, anything can be brought up, and you can literally have your livelihood stripped from you. I know I was telling my friends the joke that we were all sharing the story about that kid. I don't even know where he was from, but the little boy who saved his little sister from a dog attack, and his face got kind of jacked up and stuff. He took the brunt of this dog attack, apparently, and he saved his little sister, and he got in there and mixed it up with his dog, and this kid is just getting all kinds of love on Twitter. He's a big Avengers fan, and they're just putting it out to the Avengers, and he's getting calls from Captain America and Iron Man, and they're all sending him swag. He's getting Captain America shields. But anyway, the long story short, I was just saying
I was wondering where this was going.
Long story short, the joke is that I was saying this kid, he's gonna have some racist tweets that are gonna come out, and then everyone's gonna pull those accolades right back.
Okay. All right. Huh.
I mean, he's a he's a 7-year-old, so obviously I don't think he has any racist tweets, but therein lie the humor.
Well, speaking of humor, and I use this really, really loosely, I'm going to be the first one to say that last week on the show, I said, and I'm almost quoting verbatim here, that I might seriously entertain the idea of Kanye West. If it came down to between Kanye and Trump, I'd rather see Kanye West in the White House. Now, this week, it has come out yet again that dear Kanye is suffering from what appears to be some type of breakdown, and his wife, Kim Kardashian, has been tweeting almost nonstop, almost more than Trump does, about the difficulties with these issues. And so I guess I have to say, oops, because but to be fair, Chevelle said he would rather see Kanye than Biden. And I mean, I don't mean to make light of Kanye West's difficulties, the trouble that he's facing. That's real. On the other hand, I'm going to have to kind of pull back.
Retract.
I'm going to have to pull back from my assessment that he might actually make a better president than Trump. At this point, however, even with all of the bipolar disorder, I think he's on the same level as Trump. I really think they're probably still, equal. And
well, I would say if I believe Kanye West, he is actively seeking guidance and help and therapy in this situation that he's dealing with. So I might actually still put him on a higher shelf than Trump, because Trump is just some kind of crazy psychopath narcissist who isn't listening to anyone about anything. Anybody that disagrees with him, he fires. So yeah, I'm still with Kanye. He's a guy who can, I don't know, take someone else's opinion and maybe take it into consideration a little bit. That would be great.
Okay, I'll buy that. I'm still going to have to openly disagree with Chevelle that Kanye would be a superior choice over Joe Biden. I'm definitely not going that far with this. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I did say it. I said it last week, and I'm having to step back just a little bit on that one. Although I do send all my best to Kanye and his family, and I certainly hope that they can, I don't know, help him to get better, because he certainly does have a great legion of fans, and he's a talented individual, and I mean, this is a real situation that he's dealing with. So that having been said, we're gonna move on here.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Okay, all right. So
now into breaking news.
Oh wait, you gotta warn me when you're gonna do that. Okay, breaking news.
Avatar 2 delayed indefinitely due to COVID-19. No!
I did not know that there was a Avatar 2 in the works.
Oh yeah, if you listen to James Cameron, then he's been working on it since before Avatar 1 came out. I don't know, I keep hearing people talk about this movie, but seriously, I saw it once in the theater, never had any desire to watch it again. It was good, I guess, but man, they have just been working on this thing forever, and I think finally last year they actually did start production on Avatar 2. But yep, it's another casualty of the war on COVID.
Huh. Well, I don't know what to say about that, because I didn't know about it before, and now that I do know about it, I'm still not missing it. So, yeah.
They genuinely, I think James Cameron at some point said that they had dates and ideas for a whole Avatar series. It was like Avatar 2, 2022, Avatar 3, 2024, Avatar 4, 2026.
Are you serious? You're not making this up.
I'm serious. This is serious. James Cameron has this kind of plan for this series.
So he's been taking notes from Lucas, about trying to come up with 6 or 12 of these movies, or 9 or 12 of them, or whatever it was.
You see him cashing checks and stacking paper to the ceiling, don't you?
Does anybody remember when they used to make fun of Sylvester Stallone, and there used to be jokes about there would be like Rocky, 50 or something like that? But you know what? There were never that many Rocky movies.
Yeah, I feel like that was a joke on The Critic or something with John Lovett.
Well, there was a joke everywhere. That's the thing. Speaking of jokes and things like John Lovett, there was something that occurred to me, and I realized that we're taking a step back now because we've sort of walked away from the whole Trump situation. But I wanted to throw this out before we run out of time. I miss Lloyd Bridges. He would have made an exceptional Trump on Saturday Night Live. Anybody who's been around long enough knows who Lloyd Bridges was. Somebody back. No, that's not Lloyd Bridges. That's Christopher Lloyd, a very fine actor in his own right. I love Christopher Lloyd. He's fantastic. Christopher Lloyd is still with us, thank God. But Lloyd Bridges is passed on. Lloyd Bridges is gone. If you ever saw the Airplane movies, you know who Lloyd Bridges was. Again, somebody who knows what I'm talking about, call in.
Yes. He was the. We got somebody jumping in on the YouTube chat immediately with a quote. You picked a bad day to stop sniffing glue.
That's it, exactly. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Oh my God, yeah. Who was that? Do you know?
It says that's the SMFF.
Yeah. Well, no, but who's the tweet from, or who's the person on the chat?
From Santa Monica Film Festival.
Santa Monica SMFF. Film Festival. Oh, SMFF. Okay, all right. Thank you, Santa Monica Film Festival, for letting me know that you know what I am talking about here. Because
he was like, what was he? What do they call that? The controller.
Yeah, he was the head guy in the control tower in the airplane. I mean,
control tower.
He was a leading man in his younger days, and God bless him. When he got older, he recognized that his star was moving in a different direction, and he embraced comedy, and he was phenomenal at it. And so his role in Hollywood just continued on for a long time, and it could be argued, and there might be people who will disagree with me, but I think it could easily be argued that he was every bit as good, if not a better comedic actor than he was as a leading man in his younger days. I don't know. There are a few actors that went that road, like Leslie Nielsen was another one of those guys. But yeah, Lloyd Bridges, I was thinking about him just the other day, and I realized he would be a phenomenal Trump. He could pull it off, no questions asked.
Oh man, I gotta go watch an Airplane movie now. Because he was the one who went through the terminal, like punching everyone in the throats and stuff, wasn't he?
No.
Or was that the other guy?
Yeah. No,
he was like punching Hare Krishnas and other people trying to hand him pamphlets and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that was. I can't think of the actor's name, but the character's name was Stryker.
Stryker, yeah.
No, that's different guy. No. McCroskey was the character that Lloyd Bridges played in Airplane. I can't believe we are sitting here having this whole conversation in the last 5 minutes of the show where you know what? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go and rent Airplane, because if you watch that movie, you will also learn where all the other spoof movies, like Scary Movie and all these other ones that came afterward, came from.
Educate yourself, son.
And by the way, since we're talking about sequels, there were actually 2 Airplane movies too. There was Airplane 1 and Airplane 2, the sequel. Either one of them is good. They both kind of stand on their own. But yeah, the Lloyd Bridges references that we're talking about come from the original Airplane movie.
And Kevin's jumping in. He says he loved Lloyd in his guest spot on Seinfeld. I don't remember that one, Kevin. Who did he play on Seinfeld?
Yeah, you know what? I don't remember that one either. Wow. Definitely. We've only got a few minutes left in the show, but yeah, tweet back on that one, because I'd really like to know what role this was. I'm going to have to go look for this now on Seinfeld.
He said he was a personal trainer.
That already sounds hilarious. All right, so here's another thought for you. As long as we're running down the list of bizarre things, Wells Fargo is in trouble again. I don't know if you guys remember this a while back. Wells Fargo got in big trouble for just opening up additional checking accounts on in the name of its customers so that they could generate more revenue for themselves. And they got busted for that, and they ended up paying fines, and they got a really nasty black eye. Well, Wells Fargo has done something again. Now they're in trouble because they started putting a lot of their mortgage holders into their forbearance program, where they no longer had to make their mortgage payments right now, and they would get tacked on later on, although they're still generating interest charges. So, nobody's in danger of losing their house, but suddenly they didn't have to make their mortgage payments, and the interest is still adding up. And they just started putting people in this forbearance program without ever asking if they needed it or not.
Yeah, that seems like the kind of thing you gotta check with somebody about.
Which leads me again to ask, why are you still banking with Wells Fargo if you were a Wells Fargo account holder to begin with?
Yeah, I used to bank with B of A, and yeah, I moved away from that a long time ago. I mean, there's just so many choices out there when you have, some of these, companies with these huge black eyes on them. What are you gonna give them your money for? You got to vote with your dollar, as they say.
There you go. See, you want to make a difference? We got to start holding some of these companies accountable. Call them to task. Take your business elsewhere. All right, now here's a thought for you. We're totally switching gears because I'm trying to blow through these things before the end of the show. I don't want to lose stuff. This one right here. This is breaking news. So Budweiser, aka Anheuser-Busch, and Coors have announced that they are scaling back on some of their beer production. Mostly, seriously. Mostly on craft beers because there's a run on aluminum cans.
Huh.
And apparently this has to do with some of the trendier niche drinks, like the really, really small slim can drinks of hard...
seltzers.
Yeah. So now there's a shortage of aluminum cans, and it's forcing the big beer manufacturers to scale back on their beer production.
And I keep hearing people talk about how recycling is kind of, in a weird place right now.
With the Chinese deciding they didn't want to take our scrap anymore because it was all trash and dirty. And that's the thing. Most people don't realize they can't just throw a recyclable item into the recycling can. It has to be clean. If there's grease on the pizza box cardboard, if there's still jelly in the jelly jar or pasta sauce in the pasta sauce jar or anything like that, and you toss it in there, it's not going to get recycled. It's just trash because they don't have the resources. It would cost too much money to clean that out. They won't do it.
Yeah. Well, that's just me. I'm greedy when I make my pasta sauce from a jar. I, put some water in there, swish it around, get that last few drops out. That's how I do it. So that's what you call a win-win.
All right. Well, so here's the last bit of thought here for you because we're in the waning seconds of the show. What is Halloween going to look like with COVID going? I mean, are people just going to are we going to, instead of going out trick-or-treating, are we going to get in our car and drive by other people's houses and chuck candy at them? I mean, exactly how is this supposed to work?
I've heard some people saying that exact same thing, that maybe this year we're going to do something weird where, people are just going to drive around. The adults are going to drive around to kids' houses and toss candy at them. I mean, that sounds like a crazy idea. And I mean, in this day and age, are you going to take a bunch of stuff that somebody's been pawing on? I feel like this whole year is just a wash. Let's just get through it, get to next year, call it a day, and, just never speak of it again.
Next week, we got to talk about all these people that don't want to take the vaccine, even if one becomes available. Figure that out. All right, so we have pretty much reached the end of another exciting train wreck called Around Midnight Somewhere. On behalf of Chevelle Devine and Todd Fluker there. Well, actually, Todd, you could say thank you to everybody, right?
I mean, if you'd give me a word in edgewise.
Go for it,
Thanks
Todd.
for watching, y'all. Go ahead and tweet us and watch some of the old videos on YouTube. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Give us some validation. We would really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so until next Thursday night, when we'll try this again and hopefully get it right, this has been another exciting episode of Around Midnight Somewhere, which is produced through Mixified Media Solutions. For Mixified Media Solutions, it is a CDF production. You all have a great night, stay safe, and wear a mask.